Outside of March Madness, the ACC tournament was the premier event in college basketball. It featured some of the most storied programs in NCAA history and had the highest level of competition in any conference championship tournament. You'll notice I'm using the past tense because the ACC tournament of today is almost unrecognizable from what it was 30 years ago. What was once a quick and intense 7-game tournament has slowly bloated into a 14-game mess which crawls on for the first 3 rounds and rarely features competitive basketball until the final 2 days. This is due to the ACC's choice to expand to 15 teams, which has led to the horrible practice of giving the conference's top seeds double byes. Your third round opponent coming into the game with fresh legs after you've just played back-to-back games is the further stacking of an already loaded deck. We will never see teams like this year's Wolfpack or Hurricanes go on a Cinderella run and win the ACC tournament under its current format. To make things worse, Stanford, Cal, and SMU are joining the ACC next season. And while I think the conference is already crowded, the ACC's current plan to exclude 3 schools from the tournament is horrible. Something needs to change. The most storied conference tournament in all of college basketball will simply become a space filler between the end of the regular season and March Madness. Luckily for the ACC, I've got a solution. As a matter of fact, I've got 3 of them, which are all way better than the current format. Now, first off, we've got to get rid of the idea of excluding 3 teams from tournament play. Can a team really claim to be in a conference if they don't get to participate in the end-of-season tournament? I think not. You'll be the laughingstock of your fellow conference mates, who at best will view you as an acquaintance from Facebook instead of a rival.
Who the f*** is that guy?
Fans will hate it, the boosters who now don't get tickets will hate it, and the recruits will certainly hate it. Excluding 3 teams is not the answer. So we're now looking at a tournament with 18 teams. This leads us into option 1. And the first step of option 1 is going to sound a little bit counterintuitive given that I just complained about the tournament dragging on. But we are going to expand the ACC tournament by another day. Day 1 will see the 15, 18, and 16 and 17 seeds squaring off for the final 2 spots in the tournament. This gets us down to 16 games rolling into Day 2, the first proper day of the tournament. Day 2 will have the winners of Day 1 taking on the 1st and 2nd seed, as well as the 3 seed taking on the 14 seed and the 4 seed taking on the 13 seed. This both allows the ACC an opportunity to show off their flagship programs and gives the lower teams a better chance of winning now they're not going to have to face a team coming off a double bye while they'll be playing their 3rd game in 3 days. The winners of Day 2 will get Day 3 off, which will feature the 5 through 12 seed playing the second half of the round of 16. The winners of those games will go on to play the winners of Day 2. At this point, the remaining 3 rounds will play out like a standard 8-team tournament, with a winner being crowned on Day 6 instead of Day 5. In this version of the tournament, the best teams will play more games, there will be more upsets, and we'll get one more day of intense ACC basketball. What's not to love? Option 2 is a lot simpler. Have 2 groups of 9 teams play simultaneously at different locations, with the winners advancing to play each other at a 3rd site. The 8th and 9th seed of each bracket will play each other Day 1, with the winner of that game going on to face the 1 seed in the first true day of tournament play. Given advancements in aviation technology, it shouldn't be hard to stick the 2 brackets winners on private jets and fly them to the championship site and have them still be well rested for the game the next day. This would also allow the ACC to keep doing the thing everybody hates and put some part of the tournament in New York. And last, we've got the nuclear option. Revert the ACC tournament back to what it once was and only invite the top 8 teams in the conference. Now, walking down this path has a lot of drawbacks, but it's got 2 clear benefits. The first being that the ACC regular season suddenly matters a whole lot more. Now any Tuesday night game between Pittsburgh and Miami becomes a battle for the 7th or 8th seed, or an opportunity for a team like Wake Forest to play spoiler and ruin one of their hated rivals' chances of making it. It also puts a gun to athletic directors' heads and says, hey, unless you can get your boosters to pay for high-end recruits, your basketball program is gonna die. We invited you into our conference and you have been bad house guest. Currently, a few programs like Louisville are prioritizing their football team when it comes to NIL spending. But the threat of a decade-long absence from the ACC tournament might be great enough for them to slide a few million towards their basketball teams. Now, I don't think this format should be broken out next year, but if it becomes abundantly clear that the bottom 4 or 5 teams are just never going to have the proper incentives to compete for the ACC, we might as well exclude them. Enjoy your football seasons, and don't waste the real basketball program's time. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Which one of these options do you like the most? Or are you a sicko who likes the tournament how it is? Also, if you're still here, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Your support is greatly appreciated.